If I was in a 30-year loan, let's say as an example, my cash flow might be $700 a month. In a 15-year loan, my cash flow might be $400 a month.
Hey guys, Sean Bloomquist, Pine Financial Group, where we work together so you succeed. If you're checking this out on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe and hit that notification button so you're up to date on all the good content we're putting out each week. Today we're going to talk about cash flow versus profit. Those are two terms you hear in this industry quite often, and I wanted to bring in an expert in my eyes, my good buddy Travis Spear from Pine Financial Group. Travis has a portfolio of rentals and he understands this inside and out. Travis?
Yeah, so when you're underwriting a rental property to figure out what your profit's going to be, you're going to want to consider more than you would in cash flow. So cash flow, as an example, you're going to look at the money that comes in minus the expenses, whether that might be property management, maybe you have 25% for vacancies and maintenance and things like that, and you're going to figure out what the cash flow is. The cash flow is the money that's left over at the end that you can go spend. You can go to the store and buy food, you can go out to dinner, that's money that you can spend. Profit can be measured a little bit differently, and the reason is because when you're using financing, amortizing loan, each month you're going to have some principal pay down. And so although you're profiting by paying down the principal on the loan, that's not money that you can actually use, right? Because you've then paid off the bank with those dollars. And then you're also going to get some benefits through owning rental property like depreciations. So as an example, you're going to get tax savings through depreciation, which is going to add to your profit in the deal, but it's not going to actually increase the cash flow that you take in each month. So those two things are very different. And so you might wonder, when does this matter? I'll give you an example. The last few rental properties that I financed with a local bank have been on 15-year fixed notes. So low interest rate, shorter term. So my interest rate is quite a bit less on these deals, but my cash flow is a little bit less because on a 15-year note, the payment is higher. But because I'm paying less in interest, there's a lot more principal pay down.
Sure.
So if I was in a 30-year loan, let's say as an example, my cash flow might be $700 a month. In a 15-year loan, my cash flow might be $400 a month. But my principal pay down, or my profit in this case, when combining the two, is significantly more.
Sure. So would you say it's good to look for more profit if you're not planning on holding the property as long? Or would you say it would be better to have higher cash flow if you're holding onto the property for 30 plus years and handing it down to your kids?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And investing in real estate, depending on the market, it will control that a little bit, right? Some markets are much better for cash flow,
sure,
and some markets might be a little bit better for appreciation. And so when you looked at the profit on a deal, when you sold it, however many years it might be, or if you passed it down to your family, your profit would also include the appreciation or the increased value, right, in the property.
Yep.
But that would only matter when you sell it. It doesn't really matter what it's worth until you go to sell it. So which is a better investment? Well, I think cash flow is always going to be king because, as we said early on, that's money that you can use to go either buy more property or feed your family or whatever it might be.
Sure.
But the profit is going to be, or the appreciation in a resale is going to be where you make your big bucks in rental real estate.
Gotcha. So it's essentially personal preference, and it's all going to depend on how you want to look at the property. If you're not planning on selling it, maybe you do want to go with high cash flow. Make sure you've got a good stockpile of cash flow in case something goes wrong with the property and
Sure,
you have to take care of a furnace or a roof or something like that. But if you don't really know how long you're going to keep the property, then maybe you do it as a profit strategy.
You might look for more profit than you would cash
Sure,
flow, depending
sure,
on the market and preference. That's exactly right.
Okay. Well, great. So the next time you're looking at a property, analyze it and see which one works better for you. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next time.